Hi, this is Mark Wade from CenterCityCondos.com, and in this podcast, I'd like to talk to you about Old City. I know a lot about Old City. I first moved in Old City in 1991, and I lived there for, 24 years, something like that. I moved into the neighborhood when you had to be out of your mind to want to live in that neighborhood. But today, when a neighborhood first starts out and starts to gain momentum, first come the smaller units. First comes apartments, and then the first condos to go in are small, studios and one bedrooms, and then as more people go in and the neighborhood solidifies in terms of value, growth, demand, and all that kind of stuff, we start getting bigger condos and higher prices. And today, it's not uncommon to find, $2-3 million condos in Old City in the 19106 zip code of beautiful downtown Philadelphia. I like Old City. Old City in my brain is kind of like the Village up in New York, where you can walk out of your condo and there are lots of people on the street. There's lots of shopping. There's a lot of fun things to do. Lots of art galleries, boatload of restaurants, and parking for visitors, not bad. Parking is difficult in my brain for a lot of condos there, unless, of course, you have a rental spot. But trying to find something on the street can be difficult, especially on the weekends. What else can I tell you about Old City? A whole lot of things here. Let's see. Bound by, let's say, the geographical area in Old City would be north of Chestnut, south of Wood Street, or south of I-676. East boundary would be Front Street, and then the west boundary would be somewhere around 6th Street, 5th or 6th Street. Really depends on who you talk to there. I like Old City because I just think it's a fun place to hang out. You have all the Ritz movie theaters to the south, on the south side of Old City, in between Old City and Society Hill. I think this is interesting. So the neighborhood south of Old City is Society Hill. The neighborhood north of Old City is Northern Liberties. So you're sandwiched in between two really great neighborhoods there. Lots to see and do in the neighborhood. What else can I tell you? As far as the high-rise condos are concerned, there are a number of new construction pieces like 108 Arch, the National, the Beaumont. You've got the Moravian, York Square, and then some existing places like the Castings, Bridgeview Place, Wireworks, Cobblestone Court, the Station House. Station House a little bit newer. And then you have a plethora of low-rise condos that are converted, either old loft warehouse buildings or some converted old brownstones. Though what's interesting about Old City, again, is there are very few single-family homes as opposed to condos. The neighborhood, when it was first developed, would have had a lot of old warehouse buildings in it. And so some of those conversions are low-rise condo, low-rise, mid-rise condo buildings, but we don't find a lot of single-family homes. So if you find a single-family home there, that might be very interesting. A whole lot of growth and development in Old City just since, let's say, 2014. Although, the neighborhood has been growing and growing, but substantially growing in terms of new construction, rentals, and things like that since 2014. To be able to buy a little plot of land and build something on it is almost impossible these days unless you've got very, very deep pockets. It's a hip and trendy neighborhood, tons of restaurants, art galleries, a really fabulous selection of loft-style condos. If you're looking for a loft-style condo, chances are you're probably going to find it in Old City because that's where the majority of our loft-style condos are in Center City, is down in Old City. And it's not Old Town. Some people call it Old Town. No, it's Old City. So attractions, again, you've got the Betsy Ross House, you've got Elfress Alley, you've got the Philadelphia Mint, the gym. There's gyms and movie houses and the police stations and supermarkets and just the smaller little neighborhood supermarkets like Sassafras and Mulberry Market. I like Old City a lot. I get some people who may be unfamiliar with the neighborhood who just need a little bit of education, walking around the neighborhood to kind of see who's on the street, what's around, and very difficult to not like Old City. It's a hip and groovy kind of place that I've been able to place all kinds of people in, all age ranges, and it's just. I kind of think that Old City is really going to give you, if you're looking for something that's not like cookie cutter, then Old City's your place, because there are very few condos that are alike in Old City. I mean, because, a carved up warehouse, there are no two old warehouses that are the same, and they're never carved up the same. So you might find some really groovy, interesting places in Old City with some really kind of neat interiors, that you may not find in other neighborhoods like a Rittenhouse Square or a Society Hill. So anyway, I'm lathering on and on here. I like Old City a lot. I think it's worth a look if there's a condo in that neighborhood that might fit your general parameters. Chances are when I get you in my car, I'm probably going to lock the doors and I'm going to drag your ass down there. And I think you're going to like it, It's fun on a weekend just to kind of see the people, like on a nice sunny Saturday morning, just to kind of see the people on the street and people hitting the Starbucks and then going to the galleries or bopping in and out of some of the neat little stores down there. So definitely worth a look. This is Mark Wade lathering on and on about Old City, Philadelphia, 19106. Questions, comments, concerns, you pick up that telephone, you push the buttons that are located on the front of the telephone, 215-521-1523, and let's talk about the neighborhood and some of your options there. Okay? Thank you so much. Later.